Today on the John Fredericks Radio Network, Clark Mercer, Chief of Staff for Governor Ralph Northam. He's going to be with us at 8:05 a.m. today. Absolutely don't want to miss that. Also, Corey Lewandowski, 8:35, and live in my studio here in Chesapeake, where I am today. A couple small business owners from Southeast Virginia will be with us. Robert Ike being one of them. He's also a city council member in Chesapeake. Don't know if we're going to have local elections here or not. Plus, he owns a small business. Plus, a restaurant owner will be with us live in our studio here in Southeast Virginia as we try to figure out what is going on. The president yesterday, President Trump, in a stunning reversal, as we had hoped and we had advocated for basically 10 days, has said, look, we have got to open the country up. The cure is going to be worse than the disease if we don't do this, as we have been advocating on this show, as you know, for 2 weeks. We are going to have to find a way to coexist with this virus. We simply cannot shut the country down for 2 or 3 months. The number of deaths that will come from suicides, financial ruin, divorces, overdoses of drugs, alcoholism, calamity, people working 20 and 30 years in their small business, seeing it evaporate in 60 days because politicians don't understand the calamity that we're facing, because they've never owned a business, signed the front of a paycheck. They have no idea what is going on. It is the bureaucratic policymakers that are driving these decisions, and the president took charge yesterday in a stunning reversal in his press conference and said, yes, I'm going to take all the experts' advice of the doctors, but I have to balance it. I'm the president. I've got to make tough decisions. And those tough decisions mean we have got to get back to work. And we've got a lot of clips for you today, and It was an amazing day yesterday, and I really felt when I went to bed last night for the first time in about 2 weeks that, you know what, there's a light here at the end of the tunnel, because thank goodness, thank the good Lord that we have a president who can stand up to the bureaucrats and understand there is a social balance. Yes, aged people are at risk. Yes, we have to be careful. Yes, we have to follow all the protocols seriously. Social distancing. Wash your hands. Be diligent. But we simply cannot shut the economy down and tank America and destroy hundreds of millions of lives. And that's really what it is. We got 350 million people in America. We're going to destroy hundreds of millions of lives and families over this virus. For what? Some people are at risk, no question. And there is a cost. And I'm 62 years old, and I'm one of those people at risk. I smoked for a long time. I get it. I'm in trouble. I get that. And if I do and I die as a result of the virus, but I save my country, I had a good life. I mean, I'm not going to destroy my entire future of my kids and grandkids so that I don't get sick. I'm just not going to do that. Why do we go fight wars? Why do we go overseas? Why do we get blown up in World War I, II, etc.? Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq. Why do we do all this stuff? I mean, we have to fight this and be diligent. We have to do all the right things. But this idea that we tank the economy, and I got to tell you, the Democrats and the left-wing crackpots holding up this coronavirus response for their left-wing agenda goodie bag of crap is beyond the pale, and we're going to get into that today. 888-480-JOHN, 888-480-5646. The governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, shutting things down for 30 days here. School closed for the remainder of the year. We're going to have Clark Mercer on as chief of staff explaining that. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to defend the governor. It's the first time I've done this, but he stepped short of the shutdown. Look, he's a Democratic governor where all the other, Michigan, etc., they're all shutting things down. They want to outdo each other. And although he did put a 30-day stall on restaurants and bars and gatherings and spas and workout places, okay, he has not shut you down. He has not taken that step, which he's under a lot of pressure by the far left progressives that are now in control of the Democratic Party to do that. Why do they want to do that? Look, they want to tank the whole thing. Their agenda, New Green Deal, socialism, the best thing for them to do is the whole economy tanks and it's rebuilt in their image. And if you don't think that's part of their agenda, you live under a rock. Now, that's what they're trying to do. And the governor Northam has got to balance that. And I appreciate that he had to take a step, close schools for the remainder of the year. I'd rather do that than this 2-week nonsense. Let's bring closure to it. I've got a 15-year-old at home. We've got to figure this out. Homeschooling, etc. Whatever they're doing, those teachers have to show up. They have to figure out through an online platform how to get their students to get to August 2020 so they can get to either college or freshman or 6th grade or 5th grade or whatever it is they have to do. Everybody's got to chip in here. So did the governor jump the gun on closing school? No. Let's bring certainty to it. There's got to be an end game here in sight. Finally, the president brought an end game. He said, we're going to do this for another 7 or 8 days, and then I'm going to make a decision. And what he said yesterday is what we've been saying the entire time. What we've been saying is, yes, people are going to die, and people are going to get sick, but the recovery rate is like 99.1%. He said, when you take in all of the people who have gotten sick from the coronavirus and you look at the fatality rate, it's less than 1%. Now, we'd like it to be 0%. But like he said, people die in accidents on the highways of America every day. Do we stop driving? Airplanes crash. Do we stop flying? Trains crash and people die. Do we stop train transportation? I mean, if it was, like he said, like the president said yesterday, in a great press conference, by the way, if it was 4 or 3% fatality or 5%, I mean, that's a different factor. I mean, that's tens of millions of Americans could die. When it's 0.04 or 0.07, and we can keep that under control by doing both what the president said yesterday. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can do two things. There will be some fatalities. There's no question. And the number's going to go up. But I tell you what, the other thing, and I just got a text here from Corey, and you're so right, you look at this press conference. What has happened now is the White House Correspondents Association has locked out the outside media like myself. I am a holder of what is called a hard pass. And the way our business works is if you get a hard pass, that's coveted, right? Not everybody can get there. You just can't go in and get a hard pass. You have to go through background checks, but you have to be a legitimate outlet, and you have to be approved by White House staff and the FBI. So I have a hard pass, which means that I can go on to the media grounds of the White House anytime, 24 hours a day. I give my pass, I punch in a code. Anytime there's a briefing, I can go to that. Now, I don't have an assigned seat. There's only so many assigned seats in there. I don't have a seat. So what happens is you just stand up. So they have cut all those out, and they have said only the people that have assigned seats can go and cover it, and only 1/3 of those can go on a rotation basis, so you're 6 feet apart from each other or whatever the guidelines are. So there's only a handful of these people in there. They're all the elitists, and they ask the same dumb gotcha questions over and over and over. I just sent a memo there, and I'm like, a couple of these seats a week need to be opened up for other people with other media that have been shut out of these, so like we can ask a halfway intelligent question instead of the gotcha nonsense that I heard yesterday. I mean, all those reporters wanted to do, Corey from Williamsburg, was get the president to say, yes, I'm going to allow people to die because I have to balance people dying with the economy. That's what they wanted him to say. He's too smart. He's not going to say that. But that's basically what he's saying is we have to balance. If you like he said, if you shut the economy down, like some people want to do, Steve Bannon being one of them, if you shut the country down and shut the economy down, millions and millions and millions of people are going to be put out of work. Businesses are going to be lost, dreams shattered, and the death toll from stress, alcoholism, and everything else that goes with it, and suicide, is going to make the virus look like child's play. I mean, people are freaked out right now. There are companies right now and small businesses that have no revenue coming in. They have no revenue because they're shut down. They're shuttered. And you got the other problem here. You might have revenue on paper, but you might have no idea if you're going to get paid. Because, look, we have receivables in our company and we have payables. Now I got to make payroll. Everything else, hey, man, it's on the back burner, right? It's on back burner. There's no vendor. Look, if I don't pay my vendors, that they can't eat. So, we have to pay our vendors. We have to pay our employees. I have ads coming in. You got revenue coming in. You have no idea if that if that wire is going to show up now. There's people going to call me and say, hey, I need a month to see what happens. I owe you from January or February. Hopefully we can get this cleared up in May. You have no income coming in. You're out of business. You're out of business. Many, many businesses are facing no revenue. So we've got to get this stimulus package or whatever you want to call it. We have to get this out ASAP. Meantime, the crackpot Democrats killing it, holding it up. Unbelievable. Let me just give you an example of what they're doing. Okay? Just an example. The Democrats torpedoing the relief bill over their radical left-wing crackpot demands that have nothing to do with small businesses or workers. Led by Pelosi and Schumer, chief clowns, they're holding direct relief to the American workers hostage and the small business owners over their left-wing wish list. Here's what they want. While hospitals could be overwhelmed and Americans are staying home from work and small businesses have no revenue coming in, Democrats are holding up phase 3 of this coronavirus relief bill hostage to push their failed left-wing policies that have nothing to do with the virus. If they want to get their left-wing policies passed, elect Joe Biden president, elect Pelosi again, get rid of McConnell, put in Schumer. Then you can get them all done. Right now, that's not the case. Right now, we need to help people. So here's what the Democrats injected into the bill that killed it. You ready? $300 million in funding for public broadcasting. Are you kidding me? What on earth does that have to do with helping small businesses get through April? What does $300 million in funding for NPR? You have got to be kidding me. Here's another one. New tax credits for solar and wind energy. The hell does that have to do with a crisis? New emission standards for airlines and a requirement for full carbon offset by 2025. Are you serious? Required same-day voter registration and early voting. Can somebody explain to me what same-day registration and early voting have to do with people that can't make their rent payment in April? Can somebody call me and explain it to me? Tell me what I'm missing here. This is your Democratic Party today. If you're a member, aren't you ashamed of this? Aren't you embarrassed by what they're doing? These are some sick people. Sick. You can't pay your rent. Hey, too bad, man. Let's never let a crisis go to waste. So let's hold up your relief package. Hey, you can't make payroll? Too bad. We're going to hold this up so we can get we get motor voter registration or whatever it is they're trying to do. What the hell does that have to do with this virus? I mean, these people are unbelievable. Bailouts for the U.S. Postal Service, the Union Pension Fund, and student loans. What does it have to do with it? Trump has already put off payment for student loans for 90 days. Oh, here's another one. Retirement plans for community newspaper employees. The hell does this have to do with it? I mean, let them figure it out. Unbelievable. Publication of corporate pay statistics by race and race statistics by all corporate boards? Hey, you know what? If they don't do that, we're all going to die. $1 billion cash for clunker-style program where the government buys planes from airlines. Right, so we can ground the airlines. Hey, if you don't want to fly, AOC, take a friggin' bicycle. I don't really care. Leave me alone. $1.5 million to study climate change mitigation efforts in civil aviation and aerospace. Huh? OSHA requirements on hospitals. Yeah. Let's, now before you get to a hospital, let's be sure there's another 18 pieces of paper somebody's got to fill out. And $1 billion to build a program expanded by Barack Obama that provides discounted phone service for low-end consumers. Obama phones. What does that have to do with paying your rent in April? Democrats only care about this crisis because they can use it to force their big government ideology on you. Look, I don't like to be this partisan, but I got to tell it like it is. We got a lot of clips coming up. We got a lot to talk about today. But when I get back, we're also going to talk about the potential cure, the malaria drug cure that has actually saved people. And why is the left denouncing it? Why? Why aren't they cheering the potential of it? I don't get this. Why are they going on television, the left-wing talking heads, blasting the potential antidote, the malaria drug? Why? Why wouldn't they be saying, hey, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's this guy in Florida that, his doctor prescribed it and he miraculously recovered. Look what's happening in France. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But why are they trashing it? Ask yourself that question. I don't have the answer to this. I know what I think it is. Look, there's a contingent of the left. I'm sorry to say this. I am sorry to say it. They want the economy to tank. They want everything shut down. They want it shut down. They want economic Armageddon. That's how they get rid of Trump. That's how they get rid of McConnell. That's how they get their crackpot agenda through, New Green Deal, Bernie socialism, Bernie bros, whatever it is that they're trying to do. They can't get through with a booming economy. The only way they win is by tanking the entire damn thing. I don't want to say it. I mean, what they offered yesterday to hold up this bill with a virtual smorgasbord, a potpourri of liberal, legislative, left-wing, lobby-driven nonsense. This is today's Democratic Party. It's shameful. Shameful. We're going to get out of this, folks. John Fredericks Radio Network. Stay with us. You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network and the John Fredericks Radio app. Great to have you with us today. I'm your Godzilla of the truth in America, your oracle of the deplorables. Phone lines open as always, 888-480-JOHN, 888-480-5646. Coming to you live today from our studios in Chesapeake, Southeast Virginia. Robert Ike, businessman and a restaurant owner in Southeast Virginia. Both of them will be with us at the 9 to 10 hour live here in the John Fredericks Radio Network. Chief of Staff for Governor Ralph Northam, Clark Mercer, will be with us 8 to 8:30 today. The governor yesterday delivering an edict closing schools for the rest of the year. More businesses must shut their doors. He's doing that for 30 days. Let me tell you that I agree with the governor here. Let's bring certainty to the end of the school year. Let's go forward. We know it's not going to reopen. Just do it now. I agree with that. And he also stopped short of the California, Michigan draconian measure of just shutting things down and making everybody stay home, which makes things much more difficult to climb out of. He didn't do that. You have to understand that Governor Northam is a Democrat. He's part of the progressive wing, although he didn't start out that way. It is what it is. He was under tremendous pressure by the left-wing progressives in his party to shut Virginia down. Why did they want to do this? They simply want to tank the economy. And if the economy tanks, Trump can't survive. He loses, they gain power. It's as simple as that, folks. It's as starkly simple as that. You want to text me, 757-692-1710. Joe in Chesapeake says, good morning, John. I saw you on TV buying ammo yesterday, smiley face. So this is what I think. So I think Big Pharma and their lobbyists basically control the FDA, to a degree the CDC. Big Pharma doesn't want to use an existing cheap, safe drug that is out of patent to save lives. They want to wait till they develop something new that can patent and make billions on. Joe, I really can't argue with that. I don't know if that's the case, but why there is such widespread dismissiveness of the malaria drug, which is very cheap, no patent, and easy to get, and it's already saved some lives, both here and in France. Why there's such skepticism on it, I don't know. It only makes one think that there's an agenda, and either the agenda is make billions or what. And all of the criticism of this is coming from the left. Why? Why wouldn't they be cheering a drug that could potentially save people's lives? You'll have to figure this out. I can't say what I think and stay on the air. So I'm not going to say it. I'll speculate in my head, but you can text me or call in. Why is only conservative media championing the positive results of this malaria drug as a potential hope? Maybe it isn't a hope. Maybe it'll fail. I don't know. But people are trying it. They're getting success with it. Maybe it's coincidence. But that's called hope. Why would you bash that? You go, what is wrong with these people? I don't know. You'll have to figure it out. 888-480-JOHN. Michael Butler says, John, control of the population and get rid of Trump. This whole thing, get rid of Trump. That's why they want to shut everything down. Get rid of Trump. Their nemesis. Get rid of him. They can't take this guy for another 4 years. What he showed at this press conference yesterday was outstanding leadership. Saying, look, I'm not going to let Dr. Fauci run the government, okay? And he said yesterday, if it was up to doctors, they would shut down the world for, 2 or 3 years. He said, I might do it for 2 or 3 weeks, not months, because we can't recover, and so many more people will die of stress and suicide because they will lose everything. Have to balance it. And Eric in Richmond says, and so you know that if a new entitlement gets rolled into this thing, we'll pay for it in perpetuity. That's the way it works. Corey in Williamsburg says, next, the president calls for courage, be brave, and I agree with that. So I got to get to a couple of clips here that I want. I want to start with that, if I may. And let me see if we can go right there. As I get there, though, let me tell you about Providence Computers. They're doing a really good job. And now that you're staying home, you really need a computer and you need machines for both yourself and your family that really work for you. They have to work for you. And you can go into a Best Buy or something like that. You can buy one of these things and spend a lot of money, or you can do what I do. I've saved tens of thousands of dollars by going to Providence Computers. Now, if you're at home and you need to work from home, your kids are at home, they need computers to do their schoolwork, don't be spending thousands of dollars you don't have. You don't know what the future is. Go to Providence Computers, and they will fix you up and get you custom-made a refurbished computer the way you want it exactly, and it's better and faster. I don't even buy new. Why would I buy a new computer? Every Mac that I've had, I buy there. They get it exactly the speed I need, the memory I need. I pay a quarter of what I would do in the retail store new, and it's better than ever. That's what you need to do. Providence Computers is stocked. They have new computers, but great deals on them. They have low-priced refurbished computers, which is what I prefer. Refurb start at below $200. Look, if you've got 4 kids and they all want their own computer, it's going to cost you $5,000. Or you can go to Providence Computers and spend $800 and get everything you need. It's a no-brainer. They can help you coordinate the login, get the software. Everything gets set up. They get student software now, so you're paying $80 instead of $400 because they're students. If they're in school, it used to be college. Now, because of the school closures, Microsoft, all that student software, it's like $59. You need to go in and check this out. They can help you get the whole thing done. Go to providencecomputers.com. providencecomputers.com. They're open 9 to 7 daily. They're located in Chesapeake on Kempsville Road next to the Walmart behind the Wawa. Mike Carslake, founding sponsor, John Fredericks Show. Again, every piece of equipment I own that is computer-oriented, I got from Providence Computers. They're the best. Give them a call today, 757-382-7768, 757-382-7768. Adrian says, good morning, John. So you think Democratic voters will still look past holding up this bill, shutting down the economy, and putting people on the breadline to get rid of Trump and still vote Democrat? I don't know what is in the mind of a Democrat voter right now, other than they hate Trump, they want him out, and they'll sacrifice anything to get rid of him. But see, the Democrats that are government workers and all that, they get paid, they don't own small businesses. If they did, they'd be with me. So, like all these doctors that you see, all these people you see on TV, they all get paid no matter what. It's the poor muck that owns the small business that's going under who can't, and the employees of that business, they suffer. But hey, for these people, if they can get rid of Trump by any means necessary. All right, I got to get to some clips here. Here's Senator Susan Collins, normally not one to get upset, blasting the Democrats yesterday from Maine. Not a partisan figure, always a moderate, voted for impeachment or voted for whatever was inquiries. I forget what she voted for. She also defended Judge Kavanaugh, so she's hard to predict sometimes. But let's go to cut one because she blasted the Democrats yesterday. Cut one, Collins.
Surely, in this time of extreme crisis for our country, when people are getting sick, when people are dying from the coronavirus, when we are facing unemployment rates which could go as high as 20%, according to the Treasury Secretary, surely we ought to be able to pull together and work quickly to respond to the needs of the American people. Mr. President, I cannot believe the objections to proceeding to this package. Is this package perfect? No, but that's why negotiations are still going on. But don't we want to act quickly to provide relief to the American workers? This is disgraceful. We do not have time. Time is not on our side. Let's get the job done for the American people.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. All right, here's Senator John Barrasso, Wyoming, saying that Democrats delaying the coronavirus relief is indefensible for their goodie bag of left-wing nonsense they tried to stick in the bill like we're all idiots. Like Pelosi the last time tried to stick in funding for abortion. What does that have to do with the coronavirus? But see, the new Democratic Party now is simply a slave to their fundraising apparatus controlled by AOC and the left-wing crackpots. They're a slave to them because they're raising all the money for their party. Let's get to cut 4, Barrasso.
West Virginia said there was no reason to vote today. There's a lot of reasons to vote today, Mr. President. It's a country affected by disease, people waking up anxious, scared, afraid of the disease and the economic consequences that are there. There are a lot of reasons to vote today. And every member of this Senate needs to stand up and be counted. And for the senator from West Virginia to say, I wouldn't be for this, I don't know where that's coming from. Well, just read the papers that are coming out of the Democrat House. Just read the papers of the demands by the Democrats to muck up a bill that is designed as a rescue operation for the American people. That's where the problem is, Mr. President. We need to vote today, again and again and again, until we provide the relief, the rescue that the American people need. That's why we have a dozen Republicans on this side ready to speak, standing at podiums, ready to speak. And you don't right now have even a single Democrat on the floor to defend their position because it is indefensible.
Stop it.
That's where we are. We had Nancy Pelosi flying back from California because she sent the House home a week ago. They're not here. To defeat the work that we've done in a bipartisan way and to say, oh, you've done nice work. Now look at our list of laundry list of things that we are demanding. Tax credits for solar panels, wind turbines, a bailout of the Postal Service. I mean, you can go through this list. Portions of the Green New Deal.
It's crazy, right? Okay, let's get to Lindsey Graham. This is cut 5. He said Dems see the coronavirus bill as an opportunity to do things they couldn't do otherwise. Cut 5, Graham.
This is an opportunity to do things you couldn't do otherwise. Republicans see this as an opportunity to do things that have to be done now to save lives. I have never been more disgusted since Kavanaugh. You tried to destroy a good man's life just to keep the seat open. And close friends of mine in the House have publicly said this is an opportunity to reshape the country and our image. It's not going to happen. We didn't let you destroy Brett Kavanaugh's life to keep the seat open. And we're not going to let you turn the country upside down to shape it in your image. We will work with you in a very generous fashion to help people who've lost their jobs, help doctors and nurses who've run out of supplies. Shame on you. Shame on you for coming in at the 11th hour, taking good faith negotiations, and throwing them in an ideological ditch. To the American people, they're going to give in because what they're wanting to do should make you mad as hell. If you've got a family member who is suffering, do you really think now's the time to impose same-day voting?
You've got to be kidding me what they're doing. It's unbelievable. All right, I'm going to play one more cut here and then analyze this. Let's get to Minority Leader in the House, Kevin McCarthy, on Fox and Friends yesterday, blasting the Democrats, saying that they need to put the American public like you, who are losing your job first, on the corona stimulus bill and knock off the nonsense that they're jamming in there. But I'm telling you why they're jamming it in there. They're jamming it in there because of their lobbyists, their left-wing lobbyists that have all these goodie bags they want, but they're raising all their money. They're raising their money. It's just like on the other side in the Republican bill, you got the casino magnates and their lobbyists running around giving Republicans money trying to put their own goodie bag in. You get it from both sides. It's just in this particular instance, the Democrats are worse. But look, the Republicans know better because we had all kinds of airline bailouts and this and everything. Look, rent first, Boeing later. I'm not interested in Boeing right now. I'm interested in you paying your rent. Cut 3, McCarthy.
Well, listen, we have the resource. The biggest challenge you have for small business is liquidity. Why? Because we asked as a government that you had to shut down to help our health. We should allow those people to help them during this bridge gap. And most importantly, we want people to continue working. We increase unemployment insurance here if someone is getting laid off. But what we're really doing is helping the small business stay afloat, pay their employees, and pay their rent. We're doing the same thing on every business as we go forward. That is what you need. You want people to stay working. And for the Democrats to hold this up, we're providing more money to the states. We're providing more money to health care. We're moving the things that we need to get done, but they're holding it up while they could still negotiate for the next 30 hours. There are very few things that divide them on this because Democrats and Republicans wrote this bill together. What is holding them up is the attitude of leadership that somehow they are not getting credit for it. This is a moment in time that you should step back and put the American public first before you want your own little title on it.
It's unbelievable. And, you know, you look at yesterday, I'll give you another example of the nonsense going on, okay, which is, this is going to blow your mind, right? One of the other things the Democrats wanted was extending work permits for illegal aliens. It's just like unbelievable. With right now, we have predictions of unemployment as high as 30%. It is unconscionable for House Democrats to use the coronavirus response bill to actually harm American workers. I mean, it's incredible. Their number one allegiance is to illegals that have, or to visa holders from foreign countries. Why don't they care about Americans? Because eventually all these people that are coming here are their voters. It is incredible. So by automatically extending the visas and work permits of temporary workers who should get, when their visa expires, they get kicked out, as they're supposed to, they're spitting in the faces of hundreds of thousands of Americans who are being laid off and need every available job possible. But hey, the hell with them. Let's be sure we extend the foreign visas of foreign workers. Hey, that, if you're a Democrat, that's your number one priority. And let's be sure that we protect all the people that are here legally, because that's our number one priority, because eventually they'll be our voters and our workers in campaigns and on social media and knocking on doors. Oh, we need them. So let's protect them first. As far as these entrepreneurs and business people, the hell with them. Right? They're the producers. Hey, they don't vote for us. I mean, this is sick. This is sick. How does it make any sense? I'm concerned about a foreign worker here on a visa. No, I'm concerned about an American worker. Hey, this is America. Unbelievable. The audacity of the Democrats here is beyond the pale. And they just get away with it. You know why? Because their offensive football line, their offensive line in the media carries their water. And they're spending all day, the talking heads and the Washington Post and New York Times and everybody else, they're spending all day blasting Trump because he didn't do this or he didn't do that, or now he doesn't want to shut down the economy for 90 days. Insane. The leadership that this president showed yesterday in that press conference, the transparency and the leadership. He says, I'm going to make the decision, not Dr. Fauci. I'm going to take his advice. I'm going to take Dr. Birx's advice. I'm going to take Mike Pence's advice. But at the end of the day, I got to make the call because I have to balance things. He said it 3 times. We're going to do both. We're going to open the economy back up. We're going to get our jobs back. We got to balance things. That's leadership. This guy's going to go down in history. I know I'm a Trump supporter. I'm telling you, this guy's going to go down in history as one of the best presidents ever in the Republic when this is said and done. And the leadership he showed yesterday was stunning. Things are going to be fine. You know why? Because this president understands it. John Fredericks Radio Network. We'll be right back.